right now, so you can get an idea of what legends these teams are going to be playing in their compositions. But the real story here is 7 games was not enough for us to find our champion.
心中有梦，肚中有火。
A lot of people thinking, how many games is it going to take? Well, the more teams that hit match point here, the higher that chance is that we crown our champion.
We've only seen the likes of Tsm find 1 victory on Storm, but it was that 1 victory they were just able to achieve. Can they replicate it here again? It's match number 8 here in Resorts World Birmingham for the ALGS Championships. And we have 7 teams with the chance to win things right here, right now.
The mood has kind of changed in the room, I'm feeling. It was just excitement, energy, the moment that we saw the crowd walk in, but now there's a little bit of nerves, a little bit of trepidation, as everybody is hoping it's their team who can get that win on the board. Teams finding their way.
有枪一定要说。
我枪 ，VK
枪多的。
没，闪过没做。Bot。
Looting here. Bolt submachine gun here.
开车了，他可能过来打我们，注意谁离他追击谁，危险一点。
我说他拿完假枪一定来，我感觉。
我大屋说完了。
我
3倍可以带一个。
我有枪塔。
我没车，我们只能再去搜这个。
这个决赛终于都没有需要干嘛。
去大包了。
走，去，不用，跑过去。
走上去吧，江南没开啊，这4张呢。
走了。
好穷，
丢个3倍，
穷炸了。
我
别丢，拿着。
我有基础的大电3大4小。
跟我平常好像差不多啊。
啊，3大4小分享，3大4小分享。
也会当啊。
来个大。
这一本书在这个。
我觉得他们那个转播画面卡的。
这稍稍远坏老多了。1楼有大电，
我拿。1楼没有大电。
一个人赶紧去刷怪，
小电。你去皮的，你去，我去开我的专属柜子。这拳我感觉是这儿的。
谁在最后面？谁看眼屁股？
感觉指挥中心的。哎 ，KCP 会走我们这条路哎。
我看到我知道他来了，我可以埋扶手。
来了吗？埋扶手，别着急。
妈已经刷起来了，在哪？
过来了，往我这儿开的，他没看到我，
我跟他开枪，打中！3分点，咱不要接吧 ，IPG 会那个啥的，IPG 会那个啥的。
走。我操，这没杀死。
我打了超东西的，我操。
没办法，我小帮手。
反正还地都没死哦。
别给他机会。
对啊。
别让我补上枪吧，
该过点。
我被打破甲。站一下，3G给我看细节，我不知道。我现在没信息。
我帮你看不了，我太远了。他可能会抛过去选择。
等管来走。
往上踩了吗？去这再摸点。我们需要摸资源，去大瀑布。滑线上去。
来我这了。你可能得
走吗？我没大，
我还没。
烟呢？
没有烟，10秒。哪来的大这么快，兄弟？冷静一点。放不了你，5秒烟。好大。走，滑线上。
一个大绝。
赶紧到位架一下。
对啊，一些还好。这是被搞得难受啊。
这有蓝甲。
走。
人上头顶。兽人过来。
跟我走行吗？跟我走。
赶紧走。
我在开眼，他会不会过来找我们？
对。
搞真的难受。
去他路，快点！
小心！我再探。
这有人上去了。
我们能造一轮吗？我就1个大电，混上下。
我架枪，一个造。
房顶架枪。
我上这个大屋房顶。
这有个电蓝甲。
我
楼里有人吗？
我不知道。
往前看，架枪别在原地架，别上来，楼里有人。哦，你，
我主干后点。然后16个，踩一队。
我16个小电。
16个吗？我需要。
一会儿整理要。
我一个没有。有了。
我停止了，你回来。
在最后。
皮特在追我。
我给标了，追不了你，追不了你。
白地斩了，白地。
没事，你不用理了，我上来找你了。
给我点电，给我点电。
我就一个大电，你房顶带踩，
这踩。他地别跟我
他有烟头啊，兄弟，他有烟头。
给我点电。
对，给你。
我打电我都省着打的，我操。
是遇到谁啊？
我拿我的电池。
这边好像有人，人家上去要小心啊，不要点。
别接，帮我加。
我才
别太怂逼，过来，该做什么，过来。
皮尤尼很强哎。
高的。
去控，他妈的太
别着急，左边关，你把钱拿了，我们先走。
他走了，
不走，
跳，
我
们还能探，
跳不着。
OK， 当然真没了。
我上走了，
能造吗？皮特，白电，你给我下来造。大药我丢一个，小电分我一个没有。
那你要上来呀？
我上去。
小电
我小电。
我看前面啊，
没了。
他们在刚刚往里进，
他们进来就是这边的圈。我在上去架。
可以造烟套啊。
OK， 一人造一根烟套。
我没钱。
那我
去拿罐子，可以造个烟套
，3大3小。
可以造个烟套 for you 啊，要不要
？OK， 要。
然后圈上完北地可以上个圈。
要烟透，我给他爆了。我3个大电，你们还要大电吗？我能造2个，现在。
我3个。
我一个，一会儿我去造，我100块钱。
那我们2个烟头你别造了啊，你也可以造一个100。
对啊，不影响。
得升一下甲吧，兄弟。你们有甲差不多的吗？得升一下。
我升一下就可以上。
我57打一下就到了。
你升一下能升吗？那你升一下。
我升一下再造一下，金电你给我个大电我也可以打，好吧？
行。
好了没？
我分你们大电。我这边来人，狗子，这边。Q 我了，我直接跑。
行。
别走，直接走。
我的。
你得帮我架一下。
进来之后基本上 ，DF
上后面高点房顶。
好，我去那个最高房顶。
好。我来这打。什么甲？
没打到，我有点
被他干烂了。
他2把狙击。
他会压我们吗？
会的。
皮特，你慢慢退，我在最后这个房顶，我视野好，但我现在帮加不到。玩到4视野能吗？
往这跑了。我先退一下。他打的。有烟有狗。
狗开大了是吗？
开大了。
我们先守这房子呗。
我先来攻门了。
烟狗不跑攻我们的。没看到开大。
开大了，我知道了。
OK。过来了，右边近点。这。
我给烟后，拿一下。
空不雷，
拿下烟后。
我给他，烟头就拿吧，我操！下包打屋顶，我还给他，
不站了。我给你冰火，
揍我！
一楼！
可以上来啊！
冲来了吗？
我封了呀。
就是爆了。
Well, it's all up to Roy. He cannot do it. LG Chivas eliminated as well as Dreamfire. 2 more match point teams fall, almost within seconds of each other.
And the chances of another match gets that little bit more percentage-wise, but there's still some big heavy hitters left in the lobby. DOJO, Blackout, TSM, FAZE could still do it here in match 8. Now, Element 6, a team who has certainly caused a ruckus, especially yesterday in that elimination bracket. Maybe they could be the ones to play spoiler. But from their position, they've got a long way to go up to this northern side. They're down towards Launchpad right now. But they're really ruining this rotation from Enter Force 36, who are just calmly trying to make their way up through north.
Back to the calm, which is a little bit more north on the map at the moment. E6 and Enter Force 36 have gone their separate ways for now. Blackhand kind of relying on Player K here to hit some big shots with that charge rifle. The good news for them, even though they have white armors, they've found somewhere safe to play. And if they can hit 1 or 2 shots with a charge rifle, that Evo shield will be charged up extremely quickly. But we all know at this point, with the reworking of the charge rifle, it's certainly not as easy as it used to be.
Now remember, only a few teams on this northern side had ring consoles to work with as well. Blackhand had ideally priority here. They were able to move into zone first. TSM, however, didn't have ring console from the wall. So they're at the moment just playing a guessing game, kind of watching where other teams arrived from. Could they shadow them? Could they mirror them a little bit? And they're very close to SAF on the northern side of this zone. But it's Pulverex, Moist, Blackhand, and Ascend who are all around this Thunderwatch building.
FaZe, one of our match point teams, they are a little bit further south at Stormcatcher. Nobody really close to them at the moment, but one team who is moving up from the south that they might get a peek at in just a few moments' time is going to be Enter Force 36. This is their POV. If they're not careful here, you already saw that Snipedown has those scopes tracked. And if they peek, he will teach.
It's going to be a tough journey for FaZe, though, once that circle does close and they have to find themselves going north, but they don't know that at the moment. They wouldn't have had that information. So they're just holding Stormcatcher. They would have seen probably the amount of teams that were able to rotate over towards Thunderwatch. As FaZe now seeing Enter Force 36 arriving. Certainly could be extra shields, though, which could really help them with their journey north when they do have to make it.
Only 7 damage needed here for Snipedown. It's one of those frustrating situations. You're just like, give me one body to hit. And it just gives you a little bit more confidence. The Dojo, what a tournament it has been. The winners of the last chance qualifier, by the way, are on match point. And this would be the ultimate Cinderella story. If the Dojo can win the ALGS Championships, you really couldn't write much better a story.
And it really shows that, you know, anyone could do it. It is very much the 0 to hero, LCQ to championship story for them. And at the moment, they're in second place. I'm sure they wouldn't mind it finishing, even if they didn't get that win, because they'd still be up there with the big boys and prize money. But it's Tsm who are very close around that corner. And I think Hal has certainly caught wind of something.
The Spidey sense is certainly tingling here, not just because they're in the Spider Cave, but because they know that there's a team around the corner, and the Dojo don't need to be asked twice. They will move down and try and force their way into this zone, and the Dojo have to make this play. You can see in the top left, they won't be safe in around a minute's time, so they're trying to take this fight a little bit early, trying to force TSM back and create some space for them to have to play.
And we've seen this fight a few times this tournament, Dojo versus TSM, and Dojo have got the better of them a few times. Now SAF are above all of this commotion and could join it if they wanted to. Smokes just to give extra protection for Timmy and the rest of the boys. Right now, they're just trying to hold on because they're looking. They have been able to fight their way in.
One thing that's interesting is I think teams are a little bit less confident trying to fire through the bank smokes, knowing that the Digi is now in that crafting rotation. You can't guarantee if you have a Digi, you're probably going to be in a good position. Oh my. Look at start a fight.
Oh my.
Do you pull the trigger? Do you wait for the knocks? The pressure. You can feel it in the room. Enter Force 36 eliminated in the meantime, but back to the silence as we wait to see what happens.
Couldn't tell if I was in the ALGS arena or a football stadium as everyone's selling shoo by Iron Blood Gaming now. Trying to take this fight, and at the moment, doing well damage-wise.
This is FaZe they're going up against as well, so we could have another match point team falling. What a crazy start to this lobby it has been. And it looks like they're going to be spied out here, FaZe. This could be the end of FaZe. If the flesh damage starts to pick up, and it is, FaZe are eliminated as well. That's yet another match point team falling.
That means we only have 3 left. They've been going out one by one, and SAF, they really can't change this fight as Enemy has been the first to fall from the Dojo.
I mean, this is a massive fight. This is a massive fight for the context of not just what you see in front of you, but the tournament as a whole. And SAF might play spoiler. Reps will go down. Verho's still got shields to play with, but where are SAF on all of this? Are they going to drop? Are they going to influence this fight? The zone is closing. Are they going to make a play off the back of this?
SAF are just letting this go. They're saying, yeah, we helped one team win, I guess, as TSM back on their feet, back as a 3, and SAF, they want to hold this position. They don't want to give it up.
The reason I say this is because the winner of this northern fight will have probably the best place in the zone. So for TSM fans and TSM themselves, they're going to be thanking their lucky stars that they weren't dropped on there by SAF. Elsewhere, though, realize, playing on the edge of zone, it's going to be Pioneers and Iron Blood Gaming who are holding them out, but Noct is still alive, but the longer he stays in zone, I mean, the chances are just disappearing in front of his eyes.
So it's Optic Gaming, Blackhand, and TSM, our last 3 teams that are left on match point that are still alive, but Optic down to 1. So you'd imagine it would have to be TSM or Blackhand. Now, Blackhand, the most consistent team throughout this week, and they came in with the most points into match point as 10. What they did struggle with, though, in the winners bracket was getting those wins on the board. They didn't get any throughout the winners finals. But this could be the biggest win of their career if they are able to get into that final circle and solidify everything here and now.
Element 6 and Alliance having a little peek at each other. Optic Gaming out! No win here for Optic Gaming. Another match point team will fall as we jump back over to the north side of our zone. Alliance on your screen. It's been a tough day for them so far. But a win here and you never know.
Well, Alliance pushing up onto E6. If they can get a victory, they can keep this tournament going. It would be big points as well.
The big thing here is, will TSM try and push up on this? Will they leave that cave? Or will the threat of Starfight Esports be too much for them to commit to this fight and cross that open ground? At the moment, it's Alliance who seem to have the upper hand in this fight, especially with effect-hitting sprays like this. But there's the help up from high. It's Starfight who influenced that fight and take him down.
And you said, will TSM join? No, but Blackhand do. Pioneers eliminated in the meantime. Blackhand want this fight. They want this eastern side. They want to be able to dominate and hold as much space as possible.
Pioneers eliminated. Blackhand want to take this spot away. Easy Flash has got to be so careful. Player Case trying to pop an ult XL. But the zone is starting to be a problem for them. They've been forced forward through that cat wall, into the fire, but they do get one. Yuki will fall. Alliance eliminated.
And Blackhand hold, but now are we going to see Ascend actually be able to do any damage from a distance here? TSM also have eyes. There's a few teams with height who have vision on Blackhand, but it looks like Blackhand just stay on their feet as TSM still on the northern side are still threatened by SAF above them, may I add. But do they know they're there? Yes, they definitely know they're there, because you can see how, looking up, he can see the bullets coming from SAF now.
SAF do have the Valkyrie. The composition could be influencing the decision that's going to be made here by Starfight Esports. They are in such an elevated position here that if they try and hit this Valkyrie, they will be safe to do so. They can approach this zone late and really get a lay of the land. That might open the door for TSM to move in.
Well, bear in mind, for TSM to win here, it would be 3 back-to-back victories, something that's unheard of this year in ALGS on land. But they have to first worry about SAF. Now, Pulverix, E6, they hold a good position in the moment where they have coverage, but there's a lot of teams on that southern side that are going to be forcing them out of that position, which could put Blackhand into one of the prime spots, because they're away from all of this commotion, from all of this damage. If Blackhand can find coverage, if they can find protection, they could find themselves in the final fight.
We are into our top 9 squads. TSM, who almost had to go on an elimination bracket run. They left it to the last game to get that win to send them through to the grand finals. Moist Esports will be eliminated in the meantime. Elsewhere, you can see the Blackhand taking a fight. Blackhand taking a fight, and who's it against? It's TSM who are moving in, and Hal got that first knock.
Gets the first knock, wants to press up, and they will get aggressive here, because if they win this fight, they own the northern side. All the other squads are on the south. TSM win the fight, and now they're in prime position here.
But is anyone going to push on this? Can they get the reset? It looks like TSM will be able to. And all of a sudden, after back-to-back wins, TSM are in prime spot, carnage elsewhere.
TSM once did it from the heavens, but now they can do it from the depths. They were so far behind going into match number 5, but then back-to-back victories finds them on match point here at match 8. And they have the chance to make it 3 in a row, but they have to play this one perfectly. They can't afford to slip up here, but they have loot, they've got boxes, they've got shield swaps, they've got everything they could possibly want here to win this final circle.
The cards are in the hands of TSM. The crowd know it. TSM fans at home and around the world know it as well. You do not get a better chance than this.
One of these teams on the southern side has to come out healthy, has to come out as a full 3 if TSM are going to be contested here. Otherwise, this one might just be given to them. But it was all that fight on the northern side. Beating Blackhand may have just done it, but they still have to get over this final hurdle here. I tell you what, it could be SAF. SAF on this lower side, they're not going to take as much damage because these guys in the building are going to fight one another. And it was SAF who originally threatened TSM.
TSM try and take a little bit more space. The Digi threat here for Hal means the Bangalore smokes are not going to be an exit option for some of these teams inside of the building. And I tell you what, TSM are not going to wait for the game to come to them. TSM are going to go and win the game themselves. Pulverex down. Ascend down. 2 more teams for TSM to deal with to call themselves champions.
And I love this. Push the narrative. Give yourself the best opportunity. Iron Flood Gaming, the next team to potentially go down here. This is going to be SAF versus TSM in the final fight.
3v3. A chance for legacy to become a dynasty for TSM. The zone cut in half. Pressure on Verhulst, that's the catalyst to make a play. Starfight could play pipe poopers here, and TSM are going to have to wait.
These walls and fences could be massive.
Apex Folklore once again repeating itself as how, once again from the heavens, gets the opening knock. The CEO with a hostile takeover. TSM
冠军了，哦，冠军
are your champions.
我就说了 ，TSM 好顶哦，每次我这种钱都不可能输的。
哎。